Madam President.
Senator from South Carolina.
Thank you. I have a different approach that will get to the same result, but to my colleagues here, we're playing the Medicare card in a very dangerous fashion. Senator Hawley said it pretty well. Medicare is something people depend upon, and all of us understand the need to keep Medicare solvent. We need to reform it to save it. But this idea puts all of us in a box, and I don't appreciate it. And I won't forget it. Now, this is a problem on our side. You don't even have to listen, Senator Wyden. For 4 months, we've been saying as a party, our Democratic colleagues are spending all this money by themselves through reconciliation. They should choose that path to raise the debt ceiling. Because what are we talking about? A $1.9 trillion spending bill without one Republican vote through reconciliation. We have pending next week another reconciliation proposal that scores at $1.7 trillion if you assume every program goes away in a year. I'll be in the NBA before that assumption. I don't like my chances. Ronald Reagan said the closest thing to immortality on earth is a government program. So they've written the bill for the 17 big spending items to expire within 1, 2, or 3 years, and not one of them want them to expire. So the whole bill's a fraud, and Congressional Budget Office is going to give to me Friday what the bill would cost if the sunset clauses actually went away, didn't go away. What would it cost if the program survived, which it will? And I anticipate, Senator Kennedy, it will be at least twice what we're talking about. The effect on the debt is $367 billion only because they limited the programs to last for a year or two rather than the 10 years they're actually going to last. So the deficit's going to go from $367 billion to probably close to $2 trillion. We're going to expose that Friday. They're playing a game. They're creating gimmicks, and Senator Manchin, to his credit, said, I believe Build Back Better is full of gimmicks. We'll know Friday exactly what the bill would look like without gimmicks. This is the ultimate gimmick. If you'd have told me 4 months ago, how does this movie end? I will be reading in the paper about a rules change to the Senate made by the House, where I've got to pick between Medicare and abandoning what I said I would do for 4 months. This is a deal that led to Donald Trump. If you wonder why there's a Donald Trump, it's moments like this, where everybody starts down a road that makes perfect sense, you panic, and you throw everybody over. They would raise the debt ceiling through reconciliation because they should. And we want to do it that way to deter spending in the future. We want to make it harder to use reconciliation to spend more money than World War II cost. If you look at the cost of World War II in present dollars, it was $4.7 trillion. When you look at all the money we spend and going to spend, it's going to be $5.4 trillion. Literally, we spent more money in the last year and a half than we did to win World War II. I think they should raise the debt ceiling, Senator Kennedy, through the process they used to spend the money. That made perfect sense to me as a Republican. That's why I said it for 4 months. Now, all of us on our side have a moment of reckoning here. I don't want to default, and we won't. But I do want to make sure that when Republicans tell their other Republicans and the public at large, you can somewhat count on who we are and what we say. We put that at risk for no good reason. To the leadership of both sides, I like you. Senator McConnell has been a great Republican leader, minority leader, majority leader, but this is a moment where I want to be on the record to say I don't like this. What we've done is allow the House of Representatives to change a Senate rule. No matter what the subject matter, that's not a good idea. We set in place a process that allows our Democratic colleagues to raise the debt ceiling without using reconciliation, the budget process. where they would have to amend the budget resolution. The very resolution they used to spend all this money, we're simply asking amend it to pay for it. We've taken that off the table. And people on our side are not going to accept this very well. So all I can say is I want to make it clear. When it comes to Medicare, count me in to avoid the cuts. When it comes to raising the debt ceiling, I want it done through a process that will make it harder to spend all this money in the future. And I want to be part of a Republican Party that you can take what we say to the bank on big stuff, stuff that matters. So I have a proposal that when the bill comes over from the House, which is here, that would allow us to vote to prevent Medicare from being cut, but strip out the way you're going to raise the debt ceiling, reject the idea the House can amend a Senate rule to limit minority rights. And that's what we've done here. This is not a good idea to take Medicare and marry it up with anything important, as Senator Hawley said, because there's no end to that game. And it's not a good idea, in my view, even with some members of my own party agreeing, to let the House change the Senate rules. I don't like that. We're setting in motion some really dangerous stuff here. So I have the following proposal. As if in legislative session, I ask unanimous consent that when the Senate resumes consideration of House message to accompany S-610, it be in order for me to offer Amendment 4877, which strikes Section B relating to the debt limit. I further ask that Senate vote on adoption of the amendment prior to the vote on the motion to invoke cloture on the motion to concur in the amendment to S-610. In English, I'm asking for a vote so that we can show the country that we will protect Medicare, but many of us are not going to have our fingerprints on a Washington deal that I think stinks up the place.
Is there objection?
Reserving the right